And welcome to our first intermission. It's senior day for the men's hockey as they take on the Babson Beavers today. And right now we've got the Brady Bunch of a senior class in front of us. 8 graduating seniors this year in our class, and we'll just go right around the room. From the top left corner is the young man. He's a senior, an accounting major from Kenora, Ontario, Canada. His name is Adam Withers. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Good, buddy. And right below Adam, from Watertown, Massachusetts, my back door, back home, a masked man himself, an athletic training senior, Tyler Gardner, the man for the master of heroics. How's it going, guards?
Going good. Thanks for having us, Jim.
Excellent. And down in the bottom left-hand corner, we don't call him Jonathan. We don't call him Jonathan Bartuccio Pereira. We just call him JBP. He is a senior. He's from San Bruno, Quebec, Canada. He is a biochemistry major. Oh my God, I don't dare to ask. JBP, how you doing, big guy?
Doing good. How about you, Jim?
I'm doing great, pal. Down the bottom, we're going to save him for last because he is the squadron leader. But in the middle, the man who is a third, but not in this group, he's a leader, Bobby Kinsey. He is a senior out of Leechburg, Pennsylvania, and he's a business management major. And how's it going, Bobo?
It's going great. How about you, Jim?
Good, pal. Up on the top left, right corner is the man who's come the furthest out of this group. He hails all the way from Stockholm, Sweden. He's a business management and marketing major, and his name is Oscar Bjerks, one of the big guys on our defense, big number 4. How's it going, Oscar?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, pal. And in net, the man he was the Brahma Bull in his freshman year. Now he's just as cool as the other side of the pillow, a senior from Frisco, Texas, the business management senior, and Big D, Anthony DeLuisio. How's it going, Big D?
Very good.
And of course, down in the bottom right-hand corner, all the way from New Preston, Connecticut, a sports management major. He's not big. He's not bad. He's all of it. Big, bad Brendan Dowler. How's it going, Brendan?
Hey, doing great today. Happy to be here.
Awesome. And of course, down in the bottom, in the middle, right below Bobby is our squadron leader. And we don't say that lightly. He is a leader, a senior from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. He's an English and communications major. Don't talk to him because he'll just say, put you in the backseat and you can be his wingman anytime. Maverick Lions. How's it going, Mav?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Man, looking at this group, I mean, I know you guys had a real large group when you guys had, I think there was like 12 or 13 of you originally, and we're down to 8. An amazing group that you guys put together, and an amazing 4 years. And we can go around the room. We'll start with Adam. Can you believe the day is here and that you're with this illustrious group?
Not really. It's gone by so quick, but just thinking back, just so many great memories with all these guys. And obviously with COVID year, we have a couple more guys joining us into our senior night. So it's definitely went by fast, but some of the best years of my life, and obviously made some really amazing friends, and that I'll be in contact with for the rest of my life.
Tyler, we mentioned you have a knack for the heroics, and a lot of your heroics were set up by some of the guys in this room with us tonight. Just that alone just must make this even more special for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wish I could have scored a couple more goals, but definitely the class that we came in with was pretty big, and then we lost a couple of guys here and there, but we were lucky to pick up a couple guys along the way. And like Adam said, COVID put a little damper on it, but it was just, we had a great group of guys, and it's fun to come to the rink every day and just see them and make some good memories with them.
And JVP, you've been a core part of the big defensive core that we have here. 3 of our 6 big defensemen are in this room with us tonight. You have Oscar with you, Mavs with you. What's it been like for you going through all this with those 2 guys and the other guys in the room as well? Granted, they're on the other side of the room as forwards, but I know forwards are weird, but the defense core has been pretty solid the whole 4 years you guys have been here.
Yeah, it's been great to have partners you can rely upon on a daily basis in practice, guys that'll get the best out of you every day, and then guys that are gamers and bring their A games every night. Obviously, I couldn't have asked for a better group to end my career here at USM with. Just guys that we miss that have left us since, but really happy to be able to stand here with the 7 or 8 other guys. It's been a great experience, definitely something I'll look back upon very fondly. And hopefully we can keep this going as long as possible, because I know we're not done playing some solid hockey this year.
Absolutely. And Bobby, for you, you've been blessed to be around so much great talent and playing up on the forward side. And I mean, the talent just in this room alone is amazing, but it doesn't go to say the talent around the rest of the room, the rest of the locker room isn't as good as and of course the future is looking pretty good and pretty bright with guys like Marini to carry the torch going forward.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone's been saying, it's been really fun to play with this group of guys for the 4 years that I've been here. And like even the guys that have graduated and the guys that are freshmen and sophomores now, like it's fun hockey to watch, seeing these guys go to battle every day in practice and just being around them. They're all great guys. It's been so much fun. Like these 4 years it felt like it's been so much longer, but at the same time, it's felt like it's been way too short. And it's like Withers said, it's going to be stuff I remember for the rest of my life.
Oscar, we mentioned the D-Corps. You're a big part of it, the big 4, and the big 6 is basically the big 6 defenseman, but you're the big number 4. And you come the longest way. You came all the way from Stockholm to come to the University of Southern Maine. Looking back on it, obviously it must have been a hard decision of where to go to school. But looking back on it now with this group, it looks like you made the right decision, right?
Yeah, I did. I got some of the best friends, met some great people, and had a really good time around in New England playing hockey. It's really special.
Anthony, you've got the bird's eye seat. You get to have all these guys in front of you almost every night. It almost seemed like an eternity in the freshman and sophomore year because you were facing so much rubber. You were out there almost every night. So you've got a unique view of these guys, and you're the heart of it. You play back on that back end. You're like a third defenseman back there. You get a lot of free reign back there. But it must be really cool to play with a group like this where they put a lot of trust in you if you want to come out of the net.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a phenomenal 4 or 5 years, whatever you want to call it. But being able, number one, playing the puck, having my D having confidence in me and me having confidence in my D, it's been phenomenal. I mean, night in, night out, they're relentlessly throwing their body in front of the puck, trying to make my job easier, and I can't thank them enough for that. So it's been great.
One guy that doesn't mind throwing the body is Brendan Dowler. And Brendan, a couple of games ago, you got a little rough, but that's a big part of your game, the physical game. And when you can take chances like that, and you have these guys in your back pocket, and you go to defend these guys, like if somebody was going to go after Adam, that's a no-no if the grade 8's out on the ice, right?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes with every year, obviously trying to stick up for your teammates. And I know these guys would all have my back too as well. So, it's a fun kind of role to play and gets me going and makes me happy.
And of course, Maverick, you wear the C, you lead these guys night in and night out. And how hard is it, or how easy is it to lead this group and then lead the guys behind them?
I mean, it's almost impossible. It's really hard to keep these guys in line. They're always struggling to follow suit. Everyone's on their own page. So yeah, it's really difficult. It's not the easiest job, but no, in all seriousness, it's obviously really easy. All these guys, they, even though I have the title of captain, they help make the job, if you will, much easier. Even though there's not, letters on their jerseys, they're obviously all leaders on the team. Everybody listens to their voice, everybody respects their voice. So when you have this many guys, it makes it easier to get the message across and have everybody rowing in the same direction.
And we mentioned a few games ago when we had you on during one of the earlier games, and you've already hit the mark. You've reached the 100-point club, one of 3 Huskies this year to do it yourself, Shannon Colbert and Riley Bennett. Now 22 members strong, very illustrious group to be a part of, and these guys are a big part of getting you to that 100.
Yeah. Did I catch you say 100 points there?
No, 100 games.
I mean, I'm not going to correct you. I'm not going to correct you. We can follow that tale. Yeah. But yeah, no, obviously, the 100 games was pretty cool. You know, the guys made it pretty special. They put together a little video congratulating me, which obviously meant a lot. So, you know, when you're playing with this many guys, you know, with this group of guys, you want to be in there every night. So it pushes you to make sure you're in the lineup, doing whatever you can to make sure you're going every night. And so obviously that makes it easier.
And Bobby, for you, if you look back at, I'm going to go around the table on this one for all of you. If you could go back and pick out one game over 4 years, or is there one game you can pick out? Is there one moment, one game that stands out over all of them?
I'm probably gonna have to say the win over Hobart in overtime. I mean, that was a crazy game, and we played them hard all night, and for that to come down to overtime and win that way, and see Wiz bury the puck and jump into the glass, I was right there, and it was awesome. It was one of my favorites.
And Adam?
Yeah, that was obviously an awesome moment. Obviously, everyone remembers your call of that goal. I think that's what's going to live on in infamy. But yeah, that or for me was the win in Babson as well. Just going in there, obviously being underdogs and a lot of people outside of our locker room counting us out, and going in there and upsetting them was just an amazing feeling.
Oscar, how about you?
Yeah, I think the Babson playoff win was my favorite game play for sure.
How about you, Ty? I know you've got a lot of magic moments, my friend.
I mean, you guys are all saying unselfish answers, but Babson was definitely one of the biggest ones. Like Adam said, a lot of people I feel like counted us out, and we were able to come back and, you know, put on a good show for everybody. So that was pretty fun. But, you know, UMass and UNE were pretty good ones for me specifically, but I'll leave that out.
JBP?
I'd have to agree with all the guys. I think the Hobart game was a huge win for the team, for the program. The Babson win, at least in my 4 years, definitely the biggest win we had. First playoff win in so many years. Definitely felt great to allow the seniors to have that opportunity of winning a playoff game, because I speak for myself, but I know this applies to all seniors this year. That's the goal. We want to win playoff games, make it as far as we can, go on a run. So to be able to give that opportunity to the seniors who up to that point, you know, we hadn't had the most success in the playoffs. So that was definitely a huge moment. But I think with regards to this year, even though it's a game that didn't count, I think one of the craziest games I've played in is definitely the UNE preseason game. In-state rivals, tough team to play the last couple of years, and then huge game. Tyler wins it with just a couple seconds left. I think it really set the way for our crowd this year too. There was a bunch of people at that game, and since then our attendance has been terrific at home. So it's been a really, really good year since, and I think that really set us up well for the season.
Brendan, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, John kind of took my thunder on that one there. I was going to talk about the UNE game. Obviously, the Babson and Hobart, you can't forget about those ones. And, you know, it's one big thing that popped in my mind with those two games is, you know, Harding, I don't think I've ever seen him so happy before. And that was a great time, and seeing his reaction in the locker room after. And, but yeah, you know, the UNE game with this year was so much fun, and it was a very enjoyable game to play and be able to see, you know, everybody in the stands and there to witness it right at the beginning of the year. So that was definitely a big one for me.
Big G, how about you? Is there one? I know you've had a lot of moments. You've played a lot of different games, a lot of big games over your career. But is there one for you that a magic moment or a few moments that stand out?
I mean, the boys did touch on the Hobart and the playoff win. Those were big, especially the Hobart one was, you know, extraordinarily fun for me, just the back and forth. I remember we gave up a goal. Coach had a pretty good timeout call, in my opinion, that kind of, you know, calmed the boys down. But for me personally, we didn't even have some of these guys on the roster back then, but it was my freshman year in that my first career road game going into Castleton was a really grimy game, a lot of weird bounces. And we were able to pull out a 1-goal win. And the game, I personally played horribly, but it was just a very memorable moment in that, the boys found a way to battle back, take the game. And Castleton, I think it was their military night that night. And the whole building was, yelling, screaming. They had the band over the back. It was just a fun game, even though it was, a grimy, bad bounce game. It was tons of fun to be a part of.
And we're back. And we're back in our second intermission, our senior day round table with Adam Withers, Tyler Gardner, Jonathan Bartuccio Pereira, Mav Lyons, Bobby Kinsey, Anthony Deluisio, Oscar Bjerkstrom, and Brendan Dowler. And we didn't get to it in the first half, but we'll get to it here. And I want to get to it before we forget. This guy back here, the grade 8, the one and only grade 8, Mike Beveridge. Obviously, we lost coach. We knew very much early on last year. And that he had cancer. He came out to you guys first. You were his family. You were all his kids, so to speak. And of course, we get into the beginning of this year and we all have the high hopes Mike would be back with us and in the rink. And then we get the news on the dreaded day at the beginning of the season that Mike was no longer going to be with us. He's going to be looking down up there with the fellas up above, Dino and the rest of the boys that are watching over us. Just want to kind of go around the room. I don't really want to make this an emotional thing, but it can be if you want to. You can share an emotional story. But do you guys have a favorite Bev story or a moment that cracks you up every time you think of it, like a personal moment with Bev or a road trip or something? And you guys can pop in any way you like. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, with me, I forget who it was that we were watching at the time, but over at the house and having dinner and sitting on the big couches he had in there. And, Scooter's obviously by his side, watching him every move he makes. He's usually throwing some food down here and there for him, But no, one of the biggest things was that night and watching whoever it was on Netflix. It was a comedian and just everything, listening to his laugh, it just both of us losing our minds. And it was just a great time and definitely a lot of fun, great memory to look back on and enjoy. So. And
while I got you, Brendan, does the number I know the number 8 had a special meaning. Does that have even a more special meaning now that you found out that was Bevy's favorite number?
Yeah. It's actually funny. I've always kind of battled a little bit with the number and trying to find some meaning to it and it definitely adds a lot more being so.
Adam?
Yeah, so I remember with Bev, he was kind of the stats wizard, right? And I know he'd always be giving me a hard time about turnovers and things like that. So I just remember in practice kind of going back and forth with him a few times, just like all in good fun. But obviously that's something we all really appreciated about Bev was the way he was with stats. He would so good with that stuff and doing anything he can to help the team. And obviously a really funny guy and so awesome to have him on the bench there during practice. And you just talk to him about anything. He'd have stats on different things like that could help out your game.
Anthony, how about you?
There's no real like one moment, but it was just with Bev, he was just always there for you. Like I can remember countless times in practice, whether I needed to talk about, whatever it may be, or if I just, wanted a break in practice with struggling or something like that. You can always just, take that break, especially as a goalie, having 3 goalies on the roster. You just kind of having one of those days, you can just go over to Bev and all of a sudden your day is just magically, better. So it was just no real like one moment, but for me, it was just the accumulation of him being able to do everything that, and, just miraculous things that you wouldn't think was possible in terms of his kindness and his ability to cheer you up on a day-to-day basis.
Oscar, how about you? Was he good at picking up the Swedish language when you were talking to him over there on the bench?
Yeah, it was good all the way from the start. Like in the beginning, he was a little patient with me, and then he gave me some good comments after games. And sometimes when I was struggling, he would always say some some good words, some positive feedback, and he's an overall great guy.
How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, like I kind of like Dowley said, there's no one thing that really sticks out. There's just a bunch of stuff. Like everyone said it already. Bev's a great guy. Like every year after the car wash, we'd go over to Bev's house. He'd cook food for us, and we'd always play wiffle ball in his yard, and it was always awesome. He'd sit out there and watch us, him and Scooter. But it was just, Bev was a great guy, and it was just always awesome seeing him there on the bench every day, and you could always go up to him and talk to him. You'd always have cough drops for you too.
I'm sure that big book of stats that he kept, there was stats on that wiffle ball game or any of the other pickup games that went on over in that yard.
He probably did.
Well, he had
Yeah,
them all.
he was
He had them all.
definitely watching closely.
Yeah, and he kept them all up here too. He had a great memory. And Tyler, you had some great moments with Bevy too.
Yeah, for sure. He, like Bob was saying, he's always bringing the cough drops. He also used to bring gum before games, and I'd always have a piece before a game. But I would say the biggest memory that kind of stuck out was just he used to record the goalies on his phone, and I would just be able to like skate over there and just start talking nonsense while he's recording. And then he'd be giving me grief about missing the net or missing a breakaway or something like that. So, you know, he was always on the bench. He was always smiling. He was always laughing. So, you know, he's definitely missed for sure.
JBP, did he ever give you any trouble?
No, I'm probably the one who gave him trouble. But I think, I guess Bevy and I both shared it was fairly obvious early on that Bev and I both shared a love for food, and Bev picked up on that. And on every trip, he would always tell me, you know, encourage me to take the leftovers. And I guess I remember my first trip to Hobart where we just had delicious food. There was a bunch left, big aluminum containers. I brought them back to campus. And after that, like every weekend, Bev would always tell me like, hey, you know, make sure that you bring the food back. This is all yours. And it's just something that, you know, continued for the next couple years, and something I always look forward to, you know, a little change from the cafeteria food. And Bev would give me grief about it, but it was all in good fun.
You know, it amazes me how everybody comes back to food with Bevy, that he was the master of where to go on the road trips. Even when we never been to a place, either like Elmira and Hobart, never been there, but Bevy knew the good places to go.
Oh yeah, he sure did.
Maverick, of course, as captain, you had a unique relationship with Bevy and the coaches, and obviously you had some good moments with Bevy as well.
Yeah. Obviously, just to piggyback off the kind of gum and cough drop kind of stories, is my freshman year, Bevy was always just, you know, sitting there when we went out for warm up, and he was always chewing gum. So every now and then I'd go up and ask him. I'd say, you know, give me some gum, Bevy. And obviously every time he'd give me some gum, but I think after a while he kind of got sick of it. So then there was one game where we were at home, and there was like 5 packs of gum just sitting on the table in our room. So I think that was him sending a message to me to say, stop taking my gum. I'll just get you your own packs, and now you deal with it. But that was the kind of guy Bevy was. You know, he'd do anything for the guys. He'd do anything for the boys. He loved being a part of it, and we loved having him. And, you know, we have those stickers on our helmets now, you know, the yellow Bev stickers. And when I'm coaching with MHA, you know, there's some kids who even have, you know, some white Bev stickers. So that kind of just goes to show that, you know, he wasn't just a University of Southern Maine hockey guy. You know, he was all part of the community. You know, the hockey community in Portland and Gorham, you know, surrounding area loved him. So, you know, just incredible guy and greatly missed for sure.
And Mav, I'm guessing for you, the day the day we remembered him, when everybody showed up over at Flaherty Field and at the softball field and right up there in the complex, seeing all the generations, all the captains from over the years, all the different teams. Of course, the girls team was there as well, and even guys that played with us before, or even with you guys that are no longer with us, came back to pay respects to Bevy, and that just goes to show you his reach and how much love he had for everybody that he met in his life.
Yeah, for sure. That's just that's a prime example of the, you know, the amount of lives Bevy touched over the years and the amount of impact he had on people. People wanted to make sure they came back and paid their respects and remembered the great man that he was.
Now, when we had the girls on, Now, it's something about you captains about hanging stuff up behind you. The girl, Shannon and the girls had Christmas stockings still hanging up. You got some quality jerseys blinging back there. What's up with the jerseys back there?
I don't want to be compared to the girls' team's wall, because they still have like Christmas stockings hung up. They got graduation from 2021 hung up. You know, I don't think they know how to turn the page. There was one year they had happy birthday hung up for like 2 years. I mean, it was incredible. But no, yeah, we got jerseys hung up in our living room. We kind of got tired of the plain walls, so we turned it into a little sports room. So you know, we got jerseys all over the place. Obviously, we got to have Canada right there, represent. Got Cleveland Browns. So yeah, just got to represent the lover of sports that we are.
Geez, you live life dangerously. Go from Canada to Cleveland. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to cheer for a CFL team, so I don't have many options. I was a free agent in the fandom, and I chose the worst team because I didn't want to hop on a bandwagon, apparently. But so now I'm grinding Cleveland fandom and Oiler fandom. I don't know why I did this to myself. I really don't.
Dally, there's always room for him on the Cowboys bandwagon, right?
Oh, always. Cowboys always have room for fans. I mean, Jerry Jones is kind of lacking for fans these days, but Cowboys, there's always room. So come on over.
And we have like maybe about and we got probably about a minute or so left. And I want to give you guys an opportunity to go around the room and say something not only to your parents or your fans and your loved ones that are watching this. And we'll go right around the room like we started. Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, just like to thank my parents and my whole family for all the support they've shown me all the way up through hockey to the point where I could play college hockey, which was my dream, but also support me so I could afford to go to college, especially in the States. Obviously, so appreciative of that. And then just thanks to all my teammates, all the guys here tonight, and my teammates for the 4 years of what made this so memorable and the best years of my life. So it's been awesome.
Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just keep it brief. I just wanted to thank my mom, my dad, and my brother for the continued support over this, 22 years of hockey. So it's been an awesome run. Obviously, to the guys, thank you guys for the support and for always encouraging me and helping me get better every day. So I really appreciate it.
JBP?
I want to thank, all of you guys for making this 4 of the best years of my life. I definitely want to thank my parents, my brother, my sister, for all the sacrifices they've made to allow me to play college hockey here. I definitely want to thank Maria, my girlfriend, who's been a rock over the last couple of years, #1 supporter for sure. As I'm sure you've seen, the giant fat head, hopefully it'll make its way back on senior night. But yeah, just want to thank my family and anybody who's helped me along the way, and thank all of you guys for everything you've done. And I'm sure you'll keep on doing. We'll keep in touch, and let's make the most out of it.
Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long road to get to where all of us are now, and I can't thank my parents enough for what they've done for me, and it's been unreal that they've been able to put me through all of this to get me here. And I know my mom and dad watch every game, and my grandma and grandpa, they watch every game, and my great aunt drives out from Pittsburgh to watch games. So it's great to have that support. And as far as the boys go, you guys have been unreal. Every single one of you, I got great memories with you on and off the ice, and it's just been a pleasure going to battle with you guys for 4 years.
Oscar?
Yeah, I want to first of all thank all the guys that I've been playing with for the last 4 years. They've always been good to me. It's been fun as well. Then I want to thank my family for always supporting me, and especially my mom and dad, who has been sacrificing a lot of times, watching me play hockey and driving me back and forth from the rink.
And before I get to Anthony, is there a big contingent watching back home in Sweden?
Yeah, I try to watch the replay the next day sometimes, and obviously the Saturday games works better because they start 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So yeah, they try to watch when they try to watch live when the games are on earlier.
How much explaining and translating do you guys do in my call? Because I'm sure they think I'm just a whack job.
No, you love it. They love your intensity. It makes them feel like they're there. So yeah, thanks a lot for that.
And Anthony, your turn.
For me, I obviously have to thank my family, my parents especially. I mean, obviously Texas is the biggest hotbed for hockey in the world, although it is growing. Not a lot of teams around, so traveling all over the country every other week was extraordinarily tough on them, although it was fun. And getting me to this point, all my family that's watching home, even though it's a shrinking number that we have that are now in Texas, they're watching this game. It's, you know, been so much fun for my family to kind of chime in on that and be able to be a part of this. So thank you for that too, Jim, because they love you. And then my last thank you would be to the boys. I mean, we joke around back home saying that I have my Texas family and my Maine family, and you know, these boys have been, you know, nothing short of a family to me, and it's, you know, made living across on the other side of the country a lot easier. So I can't thank them enough for that.
Brendan?
Yeah, you know, definitely the biggest one, just my family and you know, my mom, dad, stepmom, you know, just all the way down the line. And they've all been in my corner for, you know, as long as I can remember. And you know, everything that they've sacrificed has been amazing and so appreciative of it. And you know, obviously the guys are a huge piece of that, and 4 years of a lot of memories and stuff I'll never forget. It was absolutely amazing. And you know, I got a couple little guys running around, fan group of mine, and Mark has been a great one around and signed the stick a couple of times, hopefully give me a little bit of luck. But you know, just so thankful for everybody that's in my life and you know, putting so much effort into me. So thank you.
And to the commander himself, the captain gets the last word. Mav Lyons.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of echo what everyone else said. You know, I want to thank my parents for putting up with me and getting me those early morning practices. My brother for setting such a good example, and yeah, obviously all you boys who made the 4 years that we've been together, 5 years for a couple of us, so enjoyable and so worth it.
And on a personal note, I know we're going over into the period. We're going to join the period late, but it's well worth it to spend some time with you guys over the years. And sometimes I've caught you on not your greatest night. Some days I caught you on your best night. But none of you have ever said no. You've all had a smile on your face, and it made my life and my job a lot easier. And I've been better for knowing each and every one of you, like I've known each and every one of the other Huskies that have graduated this program. All of you have been so good and kind to me, especially the last couple of years, and this year especially, knowing how hard it's been for me up in the booth, not having Bevy next to me, being my best friend for the last 20 plus years. It's hard to get to the rink and not have your best friend there. And you guys are all now my best friends, and everybody that's ever worn the jersey, red, white, or blue, or yellow, white, and gold, have always been are in my family as well. And I have nothing but love, respect for all of you, and I wish you nothing but the best where your future takes you. And don't forget the little guy that gave you the big start. That's all I got to say. Remember that. But no, thank you guys so much for a great 4 years, and congratulations on a great 4 years, a great senior night, and I wish you the best in the playoffs.
Hey, Jim.
And that'll
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
And that'll
Thank
do
you.
it. That'll do it for our
Thanks, Jim.
senior roundtable. You got it, buddy. And we're going to go back. Third period action, Huskies and Babson. We're going to join it in progress here on Little East TV, SouthernMaineHuskies.com, and the LEC network.